Today's video is going to be a what to expect and preparation type video for the upcoming Druid class. I'll go over character creation, the subclasses, and also give you an idea as to what to expect as you level up, much of which has been confirmed. But first, let me A Druid's role in Baldur's Gate 3 will probably be anything that you want. They're an extremely versatile class that can tank, deal damage, control the battlefield, heal, and let's not forget that they always seem to have something up their sleeve for handling a variety of utility-based situations. So if you like nature and versatility, the Druid will likely provide a fun early access playthrough. With the races we currently have available to us, if you want to optimize your Druid, you're going to want to pick a race that will allow you to get your Wisdom ability score to 16 in character creation. Wisdom is the Druid's spellcasting ability and should not be ignored, so giving yourself that +3 modifier will offer a nice power boost to many of the Druid's spells. Your Wisdom modifier will also play a part in how many spells you can have prepared at one time. In Baldur's Gate 3, this means that you'll have more spells to choose from while in combat, and that's always a good thing. Races that offer a +1 to Wisdom include the Wood Elf, Human, Gold Dwarf, and the Half Elf. If you're not as worried about 100% optimization and want to play a race that doesn't offer a Wisdom boost, I would probably still try to choose one that at least offers a boost to Dexterity or Constitution. Dexterity helps with Dexterity saving throws, Initiative, and will boost your Druid's armor class. Constitution of course helps with HP, and it will help your Druid hold concentration on some of their spells. All of the Elvish races and subclass choices, which includes the Drow and Halflings, can be decent choices here. So focus on Wisdom first, and then probably Constitution and Dexterity when assigning ability score points. The rest of your abilities are really up to you. Also keep in mind that when you wild shape into a beast form, you take on that beast's ability scores. So if you dump strength as a Druid, don't worry, your polar bear will still be strong. As a Druid, you'll be proficient in medium and light armor, wooden shields, and have proficiency in a variety of weapons: clubs, daggers, darts, javelins, maces, quarterstaffs, scimitars, sickles, slings, and spears. Some of these I don't even know if they're in the game as of yet. You will also be proficient in intelligence saving throws, which will help a lot with mind flayers if we end up fighting them, and wisdom saving throws. For skills, take advantage of your high wisdom and dexterity and try to get ones that correspond to those abilities. Right away at level 1, you'll be choosing 2 Druid Can Trips, as we can see here on the character creation preview screenshot that I took. I'm not sure how many total choices will be available to us, but Produce Flame, Thorn Whip, and Shillelagh are the ones that we know are confirmed. Produce Flame will likely be able to act as a torch and provide light, but you can also throw it at enemies, dealing fire damage and lighting things on fire. Thorn Whip can pull enemies down from high places. This will likely be very useful in Baldur's Gate 3. And Shillelagh will turn your weapon into a magical weapon, giving it a D8 for damage rolls, and also add your Wisdom modifier to that weapon's attack and damage rolls. The cool thing is that Shillelagh only costs a bonus action, but this cantrip is probably more useful in the hands of other classes, especially if you plan on playing as a Moon Druid. After you choose your 2 cantrips, you'll then want to pick what level 1 spells you want prepared for you when you drop into the game. In Baldur's Gate 3, as of now, if you're not in combat, you can simply swap your prepared spells in and out by going to your spell list interface. So don't get too worried over what you choose here. All of the Druid's level 1 spells will be available to you. This is not a permanent choice. Like I said before, if you give yourself a 16 in Wisdom, you'll be able to prepare 4 spells at this time, versus only 3 if you only have a 14 in Wisdom. The new spells we'll be seeing that are confirmed at level 1 will be Entangle, which can restrain enemies in vines, Destroy Water, which can remove damaging fog or hazardous puddles that are in your way, and Goodberry, which are magical healing berries. Other level 1 spells that are already in the game currently that the Druid will likely have access to include Animal Friendship, Charm Person, Cure Wounds, Fairy Fire, Healing Word, Jump, Longstrider, Speak with Animals, and the one and only Thunderwave. When you reach level 2, this is where the real fun starts. Level 2 will be when you choose your Druid subclass. Circle of the Land and Circle of the Moon have both been confirmed. Also at level 2, all Druids, regardless of what your subclass choice is, get their famous shape-shifting ability called wildshape. If you want wildshape to be your main focus, you'll want to go with the Circle of the Moon subclass. A Moon Druid not only gets more wildshape form options, but they also get to cast wildshape as a bonus action. Also, if they want to dismiss their wildshape form, it costs nothing. So from the way it sounds, you could actually be in dire wolf form, dismiss that form, use a bonus action to wildshape into a polar bear, and then attack all in one turn, but only as a Moon Druid. As a land druid, it will likely cost your action to wildshape, and to dismiss that form, it will also likely cost something as well, making it not nearly as convenient to do in combat. Moon druids will also get the ability to heal themselves in animal form at the cost of a spell slot and a bonus action. So if you really want to be that combat-focused wildshape druid, you're definitely going to want to choose Circle of the Moon as your subclass. Before I get into the land druid, let me quickly go over the 7 confirmed wildshape forms we'll have access to in early access. There will be a dire wolf, dire raven, spider, cat, deep wrath, polar bear, and a giant badger. Each of these forms will offer their own unique ability scores and abilities that can have uses in combat as well as out of combat. For example, the giant badger can burrow underneath locked doors, and also use that burrow to close distance and get behind enemies. The Circle of the Land Druid focuses more on nature and environmental spellcasting, but still has the option to use wildshape when needed. Land Druids get to learn an additional cantrip. They can recover some spell slots through a short rest, and most importantly, they get access to circle spells. With this subclass, you'll choose a type of environment you want to specialize in. I'm not sure exactly what will be offered in early access, but choices could include Arctic, coast, desert, forest, grassland, mountain, swamp, and underdark. After you make your choice, your druid will receive 2 always prepared spells at levels 3, 5, 7, and 9. Level 3 is the only one that matters for early access. For example, if you choose the Underdark, at level 3 your land druid might gain the circle spells of Spider Climb and Web. If you choose Grassland, you might gain Invisibility and Pass Without a Trace at level 3. Like I said, these spells will always be prepared, so there's no need to swap them in and out. You can always cast them if you have an available spell slot. Even though the Moon Druid is oftentimes the more popular pick, the Land Druid can still be a nice choice because you'll be using all of these cool Druid spells quite a lot, while also still being able to wildshape if need be. Level 4 is the next big improvement to your Druid. You get access to level 2 spells, and you get your ability score improvement here, if you don't take a feat of course, and most of you will likely want to up your Wisdom ability score to 18 with a +4 modifier. The new level 2 spells that were confirmed in the panel from Hell include Flame Blade, which summons a magical fiery sword providing light and dealing fire damage, Moonbeam, which creates a damaging pillar of radiant moonlight, Bark Skin, which turns a druid or ally's skin into hard oak bark, giving them a 16 armor class if they don't already have at least that. Enhance Ability, which will let you give yourself or an ally a chosen magical animal type buff, such as Bear's Endurance. Flaming Sphere, which summons a giant flaming sphere that you can control. It's a really cool spell. Heat Metal, which basically superheats a metal object, such as a weapon or metal armor, and enemies in physical contact with this object will take fire damage. Protection from Poison, which neutralizes toxins in the blood and also protects against poisons. Definitely useful in the swamp. And the last new spell we know of is called Spike Growth, which transforms nearby terrain into a nest of barbs that slow and damage targets. Other spells that the druid should have access to that we've already seen in the game include Dark Vision, Lesser Restoration, and Pass Without a Trace. Getting to level 4 and learning these level 2 spells bring about some powerful, interesting spells for the druid. Keep in mind though that there will likely be even more choices, but these are the spells that are for the most part confirmed. You will also get to choose another cantrip at level 4, bringing it to a total of 3 cantrips for the Moon Druid and 4 for Land Druids. And that's basically it for what you should expect for the Druid in Baldur's Gate 3's early access. There's of course a lot more to this class as you level up. For example, a druid eventually learns to conjure animals, elementals, create ice storms, cause insect plagues, and more. From the teaser and the gameplay that we got to see at the panel, this class is looking like it's going to be a lot of fun. And from the way it sounds, more wildshape forms should be in the game when it launches. Playing this class will also offer some unique dialogue options and a new experience in the Druid's Grove area, allowing you to possibly become the Faith Warden of the Grove. Be on the lookout in the next week or so for an official in-depth class guide, the typical guides that I do where I go over and demonstrate everything that this class offers.